So today is Saturday, July the 25th, 2026, and we are in the historic Stone Tavern in Roney's Point. Unfortunately, this is not a building that we could bring a whole tour on. There's just too much debris and uneven floors and hard to get to places, so we'll have to do this virtually. I'm standing in front of one of the several mantels that are original to the house, and they are literally in every room. They're truly amazing. So here's some history. The historic Stone Tavern stands at the intersection of National Road and Roney's Point Road, Triadelphia. There's a nearby historic marker along the National Road, and it says, Roney's Point, here is the historic Heimberger House, one of the first and most famous of the numerous stopping places which sprang up to serve the traffic on the National Road. Still standing, it's now called the Old Stone House. Now, the date of construction and the original owner are unknown, but this property is listed individually on the National Register of Historic Places, and their history gives us some information about the origin. They speculate that it was built in the early 1800s by either Ebenezer McKinley or Ninian Beall. McKinley purchased the land where the tavern stands in 1804 for $500. He later sold the property in 1819 to Beall for $3,500. Now, the increase in price would suggest that the building was built somewhere between 1804 and 1819. That's about all that we know. Of course, the National Road arrived in Wheeling in 1818. So the new owner may have recognized the value of this as a stopping place along the National Road, and it was. It was a very popular place that served, among others, the Sims line and the Good Intent lines, the stagecoach lines that passed through on their way to and from Wheeling. And so it was a very busy, lively place. It had a restaurant, had everything that you would need as a stopping point, until the B&O Railroad came in 1853, and that, of course, took away some of the business. Now, when the automobiles came, then National Road was a very popular Route 40 way for people to use their new autos, and became popular again until Interstate 70 took much of the traffic away from National Road. This is a federal-style building, and has some Italianate details that were added in the 1870s. The front walls are made of thick-cut sandstone blocks, with side and rear walls built of rougher fieldstone. There's a sunburst transom over the door, and you'll see that in some of the photos that we will post. And amazing old woodwork, and of course the massive fireplaces that are inside. There's a plaque on the southwest corner of the front that was placed there in 1921 by the Wheeling chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and it refers to this as the National Old Trails Road, which was how National Road was referred to at that point. It was originally a two-story building that had 11 rooms and a large hall, and it was enlarged in the 1920s with a 9-room brick addition on the side of the building, and again, you'll see that in the photographs. Subsequent owners included James Beck, Mrs. Sarah Beck, Moses Thornburg, and Jacob Beck. August Heimberger rented, quote, a very good hotel in 1869, and following his death, his wife continued with the hotel until 1892, and it's the Heimberger name that is included on the highway marker. In 1922, an adjacent 10-unit Stone House auto court was added to the property. It advertised individual baths, steam showers, and had separate garages for each one of the units. It was built by Frank Earhart to cater to the needs of the automobile travelers. Half of the auto court was demolished in 1983 following a fire, and then the rest in the early 2000s. The house and the nearby storage units are currently office and storage space for Marquardt General Contractors. The building and storage units are for sale for $425,000. Kennan & Kennan has the listing. And so, this is Jean Finstein with Friends of Wheeling, And hope you enjoy this short video history and then the photographs that were taken by Ed Sullivan.